couple years back, I lost 100 pounds. At the end of my weight loss, I discovered weightlifting. In 2021, I got to what I think is my best physique, which is how I looked right here. In this picture, I was right around 200 pounds. I maintained in this ballpark for about a year. After about a year being at this weight, I got a little bit burnt out on trying to be lean. I committed to a bulk. My goal with this bulk was to put on as much muscle as possible. I do think I added a good amount of muscle in this time, but admittedly, I might have taken the bulk a little too far. That's why I've decided to start this new video series called the Summer Cutting Series. My goal with this cut is to lose as much fat as possible while still maintaining as much of the muscle that I've built as I can. All right, guys, so here's how the current physique is looking. Not my best look for sure, but that's why we're doing this. My first weigh-in today was 223.4 pounds. My goal weight for this cut is 209.9. I really want to get under that 210 pound mark. My goal for the year is to get down to 195, but I might be taking a diet break after these 10 weeks. We're going to reassess and see where we're at after that. But right now, that would be about 14 pounds of weight loss, which I think I can do. It's going to be difficult, but I think it is doable. So that is the goal. I'm going to keep doing physique updates throughout this cut, so make sure you follow along. The current timeline that I have planned for this cut is 10 weeks. In this video, I'm going to share with you my game plan for the cut and 5 pillars that I like to stick to when I'm losing fat. Let's get started with pillar number 1, which is sleep. Guys, if you want to get your fitness on point, you got to make sure your sleep is in check. If you're not sleeping properly, nothing else is going to matter. Your workouts are going to suck. Your diet's probably going to suck. You're going to be more stressed out. Just not going to be good overall. A little sleep routine that I like to follow is 1, I like to take a shower and brush my teeth. I like to do a little bit of journaling, and I also put my phone away about 30 minutes before bed. I haven't always been perfect with my pre-bed screen time, but I do notice that it makes a big difference if I'm not using it. I tend to notice if I scroll too much before bed, it makes it a lot harder to wind down and ultimately harder to fall asleep. I also work out early in the mornings, so I definitely notice if I don't get a good night's sleep. It affects my workouts and overall my fitness immediately. So if you're trying to get in the best shape of your life, make sure your sleep is on point. Okay, good night. Okay, so pillar number 3 is nutrition. It is not possible to lose fat without being in a calorie deficit. So I need to eat in a calorie deficit. I have here a pretty healthy, typical lunch that I would have. These are some chicken pita Cajun wraps I like to make. 465 calories, and the macros are 30 carb, 21 fat, and 56 protein. This is a little bit of a light meal for me, having burgers for dinner, so I'm trying to save some calories up for that. My total calories throughout the cut, my starting plan is 2,500 calories. My macros that I'm gonna be going off of are at least 200 grams of protein and then at least 50 grams of fat. I'm gonna let everything else just kind of fall where it does. I don't track macros super strictly anymore. 2,500 calories should be about hopefully a pound of weight loss per week. Maybe a little bit more than that. I might need to lower that as I go start to plateau throughout the cut a little bit, but I'm gonna start with that. See how it works, probably adjust after the first 2 weeks or so. Some of the main nutrition things I'm gonna focus on during this cut are, like I said, protein, and then fruits and vegetables are gonna be a big focus for me. I like to try to make sure I get a lot of fruits and vegetables in, get plenty of vitamins, nutrients, and also stay full and satisfied throughout the cut. And finally, some cheat days or diet break days. I have a couple birthdays and Easter's coming up during the cut, so I am gonna be over my calories those days, but not the end of the world. I'll get right back on it the next day. I do still enjoy life, even when I'm dieting. All right, I'm back on my 70 square foot tiny home gym here to talk about pillar number 3, which is weightlifting. I am gonna be lifting 4 days a week. My lifting sessions are usually about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes. My schedule is I typically work out in the mornings before work at about 6 a.m. The split that I like to do is I like to hit every muscle group twice per week. So on Mondays, I do back, chest, and biceps. And on Tuesdays, it's shoulders, legs, and triceps. And then I repeat those 2 splits again on Thursday and Friday. I think a mistake that I've made in some of my cuts in the past is to change my weightlifting program a little too much. I used to reduce my weight by a lot or change my rep scheme by a lot. I'm not really gonna do that much. I typically lift around the 8 to 15 rep range throughout the year. I do a lot of my sets to failure, not all of them, but typically my last set for most exercises is taken to complete failure, and I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm also gonna keep tracking my workouts and trying to lift with progressive overload. So I'm trying to increase either my reps or my weight week by week. Yeah, so that about wraps up for weightlifting. All my lifts will be done here in this little home gym. Retaining muscle is one of the biggest goals here, so weightlifting is gonna be really important to that for this cut. The 4th pillar for my cut is gonna be cardio. The main way that I focus on cardio is through my step count. For this cut, I've committed to doing at least 12,500 steps per day. I'll increase my step count as needed throughout the cut, but I don't want to get too high. When I'm losing weight, I always like to start with increasing my movement before I decrease my calories. Personally, I would just rather eat as much food as possible while I'm on a cut. Also during this cut, I'm planning to do at least 2 dedicated cardio sessions per week. I'm going to start with 30 minutes on these. I'll probably increase the length or frequency of these as time goes on and my weight loss maybe stalls. The 2 forms of cardio that I prefer are 1, the spin bike that I have in my house, and 2, going on runs. I prefer the spin bike over running though. I really enjoy running, but I think the spin bike is lower impact and helps me focus on my strength training workouts a little bit more. Pillar number 5 for me is hydration. There's a lot of benefits to making sure you're getting your water in during a cut. Some of these include better digestion, better energy during workouts, and removal of waste from your body. For me, the main benefit that I've noticed of being hydrated on a cut is appetite suppression. I tend to get pretty hungry in between meals, but I notice if I'm drinking enough water, it helps with that a lot. Sometimes your body can confuse being hungry with being thirsty. So if you're really hungry during a cut, try finishing your bottle of water. The easiest way that I've found to get my water in is to carry this water bottle everywhere I go. I need to finish 7 of these in a day to hit my water goal target. All right, so there you have it. Those are my 5 pillars for when I'm trying to lose weight. I've really found for me to achieve the best results, I have to have all 5 of these pillars going at once. If I tend to be slacking in any of the areas, I notice a big difference. I started this series so I could 1, document my own progress and motivate myself, and 2, to hopefully motivate you guys. If you're starting a weight loss phase, follow along and let's crush this together. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you give the video a like, it would help the channel out a lot. Comment below where you're at in your fitness journey, and be sure to subscribe for more videos from this series coming really soon. Thanks a lot for watching.